I'm Jim Hauser. I'm an expert with Curated Golf. I've helped over 3,000 golfers so far find the right clubs for them. Today I've tested both the Mizuno STZ 220 driver and its sister club, the STX 220 driver. First off, I'm not sponsored by any brands, so these are my personal thoughts and opinions of every club I review. The brand claim about the STZ is it's the more neutral of the two drivers. It has a faster face this year. It is a high launch but low spin driver, and it's a little bit more for the accomplished player. Now the STX is for the player that struggles a little bit with a slice, and so it has a closed face, and it definitely is what we call draw biased. I was able to hit the STZ first. I had hit the previous version and liked it. I liked this one even better. It had very good launch. It seemed to be low spin. Pretty much everything that most people want for an accomplished player. The fit for the STZ would be your player that is probably a 20 handicap all the way down to a very low single-digit handicap. The STX would be could be also for a good player that just simply has an issue with the ball going right on them, which many players deal with. But either one could be played by anywhere from a mid-teens handicap all the way down to 4 or 5 handicap. So the first club I'm going to tell you about the tech and the performance of is the STZ driver. This is the most played driver for Mizuno on tour and the one they sell the most of. This one actually has no bias. It's a straight flight driver. It has a 20-gram sole weight in the back, which gives you a high moment of inertia, but it also is a low spin driver. There's an extensive use of carbon both on the top, the bottom of the club, and they use their proprietary wave sole. That is designed to have the face compressed just a little bit at impact and give a more spring-like effect. The STX, on the other hand, is designed for the slower club head speed player, the player that struggles a little bit with a slice, and it's also available with a super light, what they call a helium shaft. A slow swing player with a low spin driver is the worst combination because the ball will fall out of the air. So what they did with the STX is they put a lighter shaft in it, they put a 13-gram weight in the back, and they made it launch higher and have it be draw biased so that player can hit a high draw that has better flight to keep the ball in the air and hit longer distances. So the technology is similar, but they're designed for two different players. Distance is always determined by, in a driver, launch, spin, and club head speed. So when you have two different drivers like this, a faster swinger would do well with the STZ because it's going to have a high launch but low spin. And you combine that with a fast club head speed, and that's your formula for long distance. For a slower swing speed player, you want something like the STX. And what that'll do is it's designed to launch the ball even higher with a little bit of a draw. So when this one hits the ground, it will run further than this one will, but it'll help that player with a slower swing speed hit the ball further. I felt that the STZ for me was very forgiving. Now this is the one that fits my game the best, so it was very comfortable to just stand up to the tee and hit this club. I was able to hit it in the center of the face. I felt a little bit when I hit it off center, but didn't seem to lose a whole lot of distance. So it was very comfortable to hit. Now when I hit the STX, again, it's not suited for my particular game, which is why at Curated we spend the time to work with customers to make sure that we're fitting you for the right club. So if this was fit to the right player, this would be very beneficial. Both of these have been engineered from a sound standpoint to sound very solid when you hit them, but they don't sound, for lack of a better term, like a tin can when you hit it. They sound solid. Both of the Mizuno drivers, actually all of them, have what they call their quick switch adapter. And basically that's an adapter at the bottom of the shaft that goes into the head, and with a wrench that comes with the club, you can adjust not only the loft of the club 2 degrees higher or lower, but you can also set the club for what they call a draw position on either one. And simply you do that by switching the shaft 180 degrees, and that gives you a lot of adjustability on both clubs. These clubs are both excellent for the right player, but it's so important to have somebody that knows the game of golf, can talk to you about your game and put you in the right driver that's going to maximize your swing and your golf game.
I would say forgiveness is where these two clubs excel. They're the very, very forgiving. You can hit them pretty much anywhere on the face and you're still going to get a good result. They're low spin, so if you have a high, high club head speed, they're going to really control your spin numbers. You're not going to get anything that balloons or goes hard right or left. Yeah, these definitely don't have a ton of workability. You're not going to be able to control the ball as much left or right. They go long and they go straight. You can put a little spin on them, but again, it's not going to be as controlled as some other brands. These faces here are like trampolines. They really shoot off the face. I saw some really high numbers for ball speed for me. They are definitely fast drivers, I would say. So both of these drivers have a little bit different head shape, which I like. I would say the STX 220, the draw bias driver, a little bit more rounded, where pear-shaped, I'd say, where the other one's a little bit flatter and wider. The STZ is a little bit rounder and wider, a little bit more forgiving looking from the top. They both have really good looking design, carbon fiber sort of throughout the head. Keeps the weight in the driver light and able to get high club head speeds. So Mizuno has made these two models of drivers for a broad range of golfer. They're both forgiving, they're both long. The STZ is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more forgiving, where the STX has a draw bias built in, so heel weighting, and it's gonna have a little bit more of that right to left in it. The Mizuno STX here has the Fujikura Atmos. That's gonna be a regular 550 gram shaft. And the STZ has the Motore X F3, also around 50 gram regular flex. I do have a bit of a fade. The draw bias helped me a little bit, I would say. I prefer a little more forgiveness in my driver. I don't hit the center of the face as often as I should. I can definitely have some toe, some heel, some high, some low strikes. So I lean a little towards the STZ, but I really did like them both. I think they both sound good, they both feel good, and got really long drives out of them. These are fit, like I said, for a broad range of player, I'd say. They're also very forgiving. Both of these models are very forgiving. So if you tend to hit a little too high and your ball might balloon, these are good. These are gonna be really good to bring that ball flight down. So these clubs, even the brand claims, they're gonna go long and they're gonna go straight. If you like to control shots, hold your drives up against the wind, left or right, these might not be the best for you. They're not going to be incredible at shot shaping or spin control.
And if I found a straight player with a pretty fast swing speed that needed a medium launch, low spin driver, I would suggest an STZ. If I talked to somebody that had that slower swing speed, or potentially an issue with a slice that needed something to be a little more draw biased, I would suggest the STX. If you would like to chat with me about the best clubs that fit your game, please come see me at Curated.com, and my personal link is in the description below. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, and there will be tons more content from Curated.